Here's the project in question. So we have a knife, which we need to replace the handle on. I'm not sure what the original material is, but we are going to change it out and do something with stone. I was given free range to do whatever. And I did some kind of inspecting of what to kind of like do with this, because I don't want to drill into the stone. I don't want to have like the screws exposed. So we're gonna ditch those. And again, this is a custom gift for a friend of mine. She's gonna give this to her husband, so they have a little custom message in there, which is really nice. So you can kind of see how this might be really a unique project. We have a lip there that we need to create on the stone, and I haven't done something like this before, so this is going to be a unique project, and I do have a deadline on this, depending on I mean, I'm not going to be able to show this video until after Christmas. So this is a Christmas gift, and I have what, 10 days, less than 10 days to get this done. So I'm going to go and start working on this, and the idea is we're going to take this off, and then I'm going to find a stone to replace this with, and rather than drill through the stone, I'm going to drill a little bit into the backside here, so it's going to give me kind of a grabbing point. And then I'm going to take some pins, and I'm just going to put the pins in here, and that way the pins will still be into the stone, but when I glue it in place, the pins and the glue will keep the stone from going anywhere, and that way we don't have to look at these screw holes right here. So let's get to work. All right, I went ahead and used a T8 star bit just to remove the handle from the knife. Now this is gonna be really tricky. So again, it's kind of an interesting shape, and see how close that those screws are to the surface. That's going to be kind of an interesting. It's definitely going to be a little bit of a challenge, I think, but that's okay. That's okay. I can make it work. I'm pretty sure I can make it work. So let's go ahead and find a stone that I think would actually suit this. I think I'm going to use this slab right here. It's got some kind of like a Sagenite spray going on, which is actually kind of cool looking if you really look at it. So this is mostly dry, so I did spray it earlier, but let's go and get it wet again without knocking off too much of the my outline that I need. So we're gonna go ahead and use this for the knife handle. Hopefully it turns out really nice, and go from there. So I do have to get the saw out and cut this down a little bit, and then from there I'll take it to the cabbing machine to get shaped. I took a nail and I cut it down so I can have some nubs, and I just used some glue to kind of glue those in place, and this is going to help me make sure that when I'm working on the stone, I can mark it like this, because I'm always doing this to make sure that I am going to be where I need to be, at least for the top side. For the bottom side is going to be a little bit differently, because we have to pretty much, we're going to work it down to here, but then once we grind away this excess like right in there, I had to come back through again and pretty much carve out a groove between this layer and then the hole right here. but I had to grind a groove just before the hole. So it's gonna be a little bit of a tricky process. And, and then I also realized that after I had, I did all this work to make sure that the stone basically lines up with all the holes. There was a small problem, which should be pretty easily fixed. Can you spot the problem? There's a huge gap right there, which means I need to bend this knife so that it is nice and flat, because it's not entirely straight. So I'll do that before I glue this on there, but for now I'm going to go through and I'm going to start the grinding process of removing all the excess material. And in order to do that, I need to use this as a stencil for the bottom side here, and then also use the actual knife itself for the top to make sure that everything is where it should be. So with the 180 grit hard diamond wheel, I went and beveled around the edges here, and I even went as close as I could without going too far, because we don't want this going too far down, because we have to take into consideration we still have to use the 280 grit Nova wheel to further get out the scratches from the previous stage. But we're looking pretty good so far. Again, I still have to bend the knife in place, but hey, that's okay. Of course, I'll still go through here, make sure everything is as level as I possibly can make it before going to the next stage. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get my Fordham back out, and we're gonna use a cutting disc to very carefully grind in here, because what has to happen is the knife, when it closes, you can see that it wants to touch the stone. We don't want that. So we have to pretty much grind out, let's get it flush here, we have to grind out a groove or a channel for the blade to sit in. So we have to go through, undercut that part as far as we can go without, again, getting into the holes that we drilled. So we're going to go through here, grind that all out, and then I'll go to the next stage, because what's going to happen is when I use that grinding diamond tool, it's going to leave some rough edges, and I don't want rough edges. So once I grind that all out, I'm going to use the 280 grit Nova wheel to kind of further smooth everything out, and then that same wheel will round off this edge here, so it's not as rough or as abrasive. So let's go ahead and start cutting this out. Here's the old handle, and then we have the new one right here. That's a huge, huge difference as far as like how it looks. This looks more sleek. This looks clean altogether and looks really beautiful. I am really happy with how it turned out. I did have my doubts, I'm not gonna lie, because it is a very thin handle, and I never done anything as intricate as the groove right here. So that was definitely a little bit of a challenge. But hey, I made it work, and it looks absolutely stunning. So beautiful. But this has to go to its new home now. So let's get it back in its packaging.